Hi, I'm kchoi. Welcome back to my channel. I know that it's been like 3 months since I've uploaded a video. I've just been really busy with work, but I finally had a free morning to film, and I really miss filming and editing even when it's just like a sit-down video. Today, I thought that I would do the Asian American tag, which I believe was started by Amy, aka Vagabond Youth, and I've actually wanted to do this type of video since I saw Whaley upload one called Growing Up Chinese American. I will link both of the videos I just mentioned in the description box. So I've had like a running note in my phone of just my thoughts on this topic, but I thought instead I would just do the tag to help structure the video a little better. So let's just begin. Which ethnicity are you? I am Korean. I've actually gotten comments of people who didn't know that I was Korean, which I thought was weird. Like I thought Choi was mostly a Korean last name, but yeah, Korean. Which generation are you? I am second generation. So my dad moved to the US when he was 8. So he's actually pretty Americanized, or he's just completely Americanized. I've heard that being called 1.5 generation because even though he is a first generation immigrant, he pretty much acts like he was born here because he came here when he was so young. So my dad moved when he was young. He's like 1.5 generation. My mom moved after college, after my dad and my mom got married. So she is first generation, a first generation immigrant. And I am second generation. What is the first experience where you felt different? I think it was pretty early on because my elementary school didn't have a lot of Koreans, let alone Asians. I can remember maybe 2 other Asians in my school, in elementary school. 2 of my closest friends, one of them had blonde hair and blue eyes, and the other one had like light brown hair and hazel eyes. And I was always really jealous that they had such beautiful, pretty eye colors. And I think one of the earliest memories I have of feeling different is being in the bathroom together, because girls go to the bathroom together, and we were washing our hands, and I remember looking in the mirror that was above the sinks and just not wanting to look at my face. And that sounds really dramatic and sad when I say it that way, but it was just, I saw how big and pretty their eyes were and how like slim their faces were. As you probably know, Asians typically have flatter faces with a lower nose bridge and with monolids instead of double eyelids or an eyelid crease. So just seeing the difference in our faces, I was really uncomfortable and just didn't want to look at that. I wouldn't say that was an ongoing struggle, but it was something that I would be reminded of here and there and be like, oh, right, I look different than most of my friends. Were you always proud of your heritage, or was there a time when you rejected it? I wouldn't say I've ever rejected my heritage. There were definitely times when I was embarrassed by it. One time in elementary school, I think like my mom was picking me up from school, and so I was like coming out the gate and she like wasn't noticing me, and so I was gonna call out to her, but I was embarrassed to say 엄마, because everyone else, they say mom, mommy, and 엄마 just sounds weird and foreign. So I remember not feeling very proud in that moment. I was also always self-conscious of my middle name because my middle name is my Korean name, and my friends in school, their middle names were like Kimberly and Aaron, and mine was weird. So that was also something that I was really aware of and embarrassed by, and I just wanted a normal middle name. What are some stereotypes that you struggle with? I think the only stereotype I struggle with right now is that Asian women are bad drivers. Whenever I make any sort of mistake, I just feel like, oh God, I hope they don't see me. And then, you know, I'm just adding to this stereotype of Asian women being bad drivers. So that is something I am always thinking about when I'm driving. I've had a couple times recently where I was talking to somebody for the first time and they commented on how good my English was. So I guess there's that stereotype still of Asians all being foreigners. So that's something that I don't struggle with on a day-to-day basis, but it does pop up here and there. Can you speak your language? 네, 한국말 할 수 있습니다. 어렸을 때 토요일마다 한글학교 다녔었고요. 6살 때부터 할아버지랑 같이 살았습니다. 그래서 항상 집에서 한국말 많이 썼고요. 그리고 여름방학에는 한국 가서 외할머니 댁에 있었고요. 그래서 항상 연습 되었습니다. How has being Asian American affected your relationship with your parents? I know a lot of people my age who have parents that immigrated to the US together. They often struggle with a language barrier. I feel very fortunate that I don't struggle with that as much. I definitely don't struggle with that with my dad. My mom is, there's a bit of a barrier there, but it's still like she's lived in the States for quite a long time. And also because my friends in elementary school weren't Asian, so my mom's friends, who are my friends' moms, they also weren't Asian. So it's been, a long time of her coming out of that comfort zone of speaking Korean. I think just on my end, as I grow older, I feel much more grateful for the struggles that my parents have been through in order to raise me and give me a good life with a good education and a great family environment. So I think that's something, just like on my end, it has affected my relationship with my parents in terms of me being more grateful as I grow older and realize that more and more. And that's not just for Asian Americans. I think that goes for all people who have parents that are immigrants. There's that level of gratitude that you build as you grow older. How do you feel about your heritage now, and do you identify with it? I talked about how at my elementary school there were only like 2 other Asians at my school, but by the time I got to middle school and high school, there were Koreans and Asians everywhere, and I started to feel much more comfortable. And in college, I was really involved in my church fellowship, and it was pretty much all Korean. So I went from like, when I was younger, like not being surrounded by any Asians to just completely being surrounded by Asians and mostly Koreans. There are times when I'm self-conscious of that, and I'm aware of my friend group being mostly people who look like me and have a similar background. When I am with friends who aren't Korean or Asian, I am very proud of my heritage, and I do try to bring it out and I teach them about it. I would say that now I've come to a place where I am proud of it. There are times when I'm self-conscious that most of my friends are Korean and I want to branch out more, but overall, I'm very proud. That wasn't the question. It was, do I identify with it? And I do identify with it. I think Korean American is like a specific community compared to Korean and then American. And I do strongly identify with that Korean American part of me of taking things from both sides. What is your favorite thing about being Asian American? Basically what I just said, of how I can take aspects from my Korean culture and then from the American culture, which is already like a mishmash of a bunch of cultures, and have that be my identity. I love that I can speak Korean. I love Korean food. I love visiting Korea and slowly learning more about Korea's history, because admittedly I don't know too much about it, but just knowing the resilience of my people or my ancestors is amazing. And I love that I'm American too, and that I can claim that as my identity. And I love specifically like being from Los Angeles and the culture that comes with that. So my favorite thing would be all the things, just being able to combine all of that. And that is what being American is really, and being Asian American. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you could relate to some of the things that I was saying. Let me know in the comments below if you did, and I don't know, answer the questions in the tag yourself too. I'd love to see your stories. Because this is a tag after all, I'm going to tag my friend Katie, who lives in Korea right now, and we actually met in London because she was doing an internship there, and you would have seen her in my previous video of what I ate in Korea. She uploads vlogs and other lifestyle content right now related to her living in Korea, but she has some videos also from when she was in London and things like that, so do go check her out and subscribe. I'm pretty sure my foot has just completely fallen asleep now, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!